Welcome! I'm your host, Axel Grimwolf, and this is our first mini-episode known as Tales from Stanton. In these episodes, I will regale you with adventures that the Black Dogs unit has had that were quite memorable. Be it a pulse-pounding victory, a narrow escape, a day of amazing profits, or a humbling experience. Today's tale I have titled, Enemy of My Enemy is My Friend. May you learn from this unfortunate group's lessons so that you need not learn it yourself. So sit back, have a drink, and listen. 6 fucking bounty hunters were waiting for us outside of Levski after we had limped back from attacking a prison transport. My executive officer had lost his 325A to Hurston Security when they had come in behind 2 contract bounty hunters that I took out quickly as my XO had handled reviving of the targets. Yet right behind that group of 3, I had another group of 3 come out after I'd taken out one of Hurston's sabers, so I had 5 enemy contacts up in the air. So I led them on a merry little chase away from the broken down prison transport and started shutting down my systems so I'd vanish from their radar and double back. Having my XO take a ride, yet again, in the back of my prisoner pod. I really need to swap that prisoner chair out for something comfier. Maybe place a monitor in there for him. Anyway, Levski didn't have any food for trade. I was out of food as well, and hey, y'all can't fight on an empty stomach. So we took my Cutlass Red out, and what was there to greet us? Them 6 bounty hunters, flying in a Prowler, a Tana, an Avenger, and God only knows what else. I'd focused on getting out of there at that point, and having outfitted the Cutlass Red with the XL1, so I knew none of them were going to be able to keep up with us. Made a dash for Hurston again and cut the engines after a few million kilometers. Switched our target to Crusader's system for Grim Hex. And chatter on the comlink had actually then shown one of them bounty hunters had been pressed by such a simple evasive maneuver. They hadn't seen anything yet. After I landed, I placed a request to the Grease Monkeys to get my Cutlass Black outfitted with the XL1 and the FR76 that was on my Cutlass Red. We needed a little extra firepower in case we met resistance along the way, as we decided our best option was to bunker down and hack the system and remove our crim stats. By the time work was done, we had a small fleet floating around us again. Yet they were not ready for us to quickly jump into Quantum again. This time we made a beeline straight for ArcCorp. No fancy engine cuts and changing destinations to mask our final destination. Not long after, we were holding our position 10 kilometers above Lyria's security station. We opened the bay doors and started a halo jump down to the facility. Didn't take long to notice that we had a Banu Defender and an Aegis Warlock bearing down on us, attempting to hit us with their ships as we were in free fall. A third ship had decided to attack the abandoned Cutlass, putting a smile on my face as we were in comlink space. We didn't have the time or the desire to turn the comlink off. For the UEE considers the destruction of a vehicle a crime, even if it's owned by a criminal, so the fact that we are no longer in it, that third bounty hunter having done that, gave them a criminal status for having chased after us. The Defender and the Warlock were flying close to each other, so my XO noticed this and had drawn his missile launcher and locked onto the Warlock, blasting it with multiple volleys of missiles, causing the pilot to panic and release their EMP, hitting the Defender in the process. The bounty hunters who had come in to cash our 30,000 UEC bounties were now fighting each other, thinking one another had ambushed the other in attempts to get an easy bounty reward all to themselves. After noticing they had started to fight, we were hit with another trespassing charge for entering the facility's airspace. But we landed only 150 meters from the entrance to the facility, so we rushed inside as the bounty hunters got trespassing charges as well, causing the third one then to join into the fight as well, as we swept through the building, rifles ready. We quickly eliminated all security forces in the building and bunkered down in the control room, keeping the main hallway covered from multiple angles as I let my Ripper crypto key get to work. We listened to the battle above as I slowly became a legal citizen of the UEE again. Diplomatic immunity is a beautiful thing, is it not? While I finished that up, we heard a final flyby, no weapons firing this time, as the last standing bounty hunter, with the blood of the other bounty hunters on their hands and a criminal status to boot, gave up. As the station's turrets were still up and running, they were just firing at another criminal, so they gave up and left to God knows only where at that point. My XO repeated the process and cleared his name as well. Then we waited for a lift from an associate outside of the station's property line after a long hike. So what's today's lesson? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And you better have a tight-knit crew if you're going to try and just take on 2 members of the Black Dogs. Unless you want to be played for a fool as well. Hey, thanks for watching. Remember to hit like, subscribe, and that bell icon to stay up to date with our videos. Until next time, remember your local bounty hunters are an excellent source of sodium, so fly fast and laugh into the stars.